from off the road a minute, and it was a much needed break. Needed to use the restroom and I pick up a few items. Got me some snacks in here, so I just taking this break, and I'm happy I took this little break, much needed break. So I am on my way back to the car where I'm going to be headed back on the 95, headed to New York. I don't think I have a very long time in New York, maybe a few minutes before I enter into New York. So much needed break, but no time to stop anymore. Pick up a few things, really needed that. It's your boy Hewitt, represent. So I have about 32 minutes before I arrive in New York. 32 minutes. So I'm gonna be headed out and I'll drive there. All right, see you guys. Peace. So let's look at some facts about the Garifuna people. Now I'm going to check a couple countries that Garifuna are said to be living, such as Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. Of these countries, Honduras seemed to have the largest Garifuna population. In 2003, there was recorded over 200,000 Garifuna. Belize is said to have about 6% of the population, which would be just around 24,000 Garifunas. Guatemala is said to have about 5,000. And the lowest number would be Nicaragua with just about 2,000. On the other hand, in the diaspora, mostly in the United States, the Garifuna population in the United States is about over 200,000 people. So it's quite fair to say that most Garifunas speak Spanish. And yes, most Vincentians, as long as you're black, you are Garifuna. Or you are likely, very much likely to be Garifuna. So what do Garifuna believe in terms of spirituality? Their spiritual belief has something to do with that which look like a version of Catholicism. It is sort of a combining beliefs in saints with reference to the spirits of the ancestors. I cannot pronounce the name given to the ancestors. I think it's something like Gobaida or Gobaida. That's the spirit's name, the ancestors. That's what they attribute to their ancestors, the spirit of Gobaida. But many Garifunas practice Christianity. So the one thing that is common with Catholicism is that many Catholics do not just pray to Jesus or to God, but many of them pray to the saints. In fact, a poll taken some time ago, maybe in the early 2000, found that 71% of Italians would pray to their saints. In fact, the Catholic Church doctrine supports intercessory prayer to saints. Garifuna have a ceremonial feast that may last for 2 to 4 days. And it's a ritual that's held. And this ritual really is principally about sort of something like penitence. Something like penitence. That they believe that they've offended their God or the doer, and that person who may have offended their God, that the doer was angry, that person is ill as a result of that. And so the answer to that is to have a feast of sort of a kind of a penitence. Garifuna would travel as far from the United States to, let's say, Belize or Nicaragua or Honduras or Guatemala for this ceremony. And so this is very important for them because they want to ensure for the healing of that individual.
I'm gonna pay some tolls here in New Jersey Turnpike here. I'm gonna pay some tolls here. Getting off the turnpike. So from Pennsylvania to New Jersey, from New Jersey to New York. There you go. $9.65 of my money. Oh man, you know everybody laughs when I say that. Everybody smiles. All right, thank you. Have a nice day, okay? All right. you know you're going to be in New York territory once you cross this bridge. Oh, that is a Goatals Bridge. No, this is a Goatals Bridge. No, this is a Goatals Bridge. Goatals Bridge. This is not the Verrazano. This is a Goatals Bridge. That's right. This is a Goatals Bridge. Yes, the Verrazano is way down there. You gotta go around and then it has an upper level and it has a lower level. I'm gonna take the lower level. I don't like heights. So the Verrazano Bridge, I am gonna take the lower level, baby, because I man here, I don't like heights.
So why is it right for Catholics, not only in Italy, to pray to their saints, but Catholics around the world to do the same? And why is it not right for Garifuna to pray to their saints? So my question is based on the assumption that the Catholic religion is the mainstream Christian religion and has millions of people around the globe. And so because of that, there must be some legitimacy about what the Catholics do with respect to their belief systems and their connections with God. So the next question is, what is not legitimate about the Garifuna people and their convictions, their belief systems about the way they do things with regard to their prayers and with regard to their religious practice? Who is there to judge them? Or which God is there to judge them? So if I may, I can say that Garifuna spiritual belief has similarities to other religions, particularly the Catholic religion, which is the Christian religion. And I happen to believe that all organized religion to this day, or all organized religion to this day, are syncretic religions. All of them have borrowed practices, beliefs, systems from one another. Or they have borrowed belief system from previous or earlier or more ancient religions. And yes, this includes Christianity. For one thing, ancestral worship is a common thing among all religions. In fact, ancestral worship is like the common denominator for all religions, including the major religions today, including Christianity. What I gather is that the Garifuna belief system
is not like that of a polytheistic system of gods. And I think this is very, very important. On this team alone, this draws quite a bit of similarities with today's functioning, organized religion.
Lower level, 4 minutes, baby. That famous Verrazano, baby. Bridge that will connect, will land me right in Brooklyn, New York City. Brooklyn in the house. Brooklyn, baby. I'll be in Brooklyn in at least, let's say about 6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. Less than that. Lower level, baby. Lower level. Lower level. In the Verrazano, baby. New York, baby, New York, New York, baby, New York.
This is Brooklyn. I'm trodden on Brooklyn turf. So I would want to believe that there must have been a purer form of Garifuna spirituality. I would want to think that over time, that could have been, we're talking about, let's say about maybe hundreds of years, that there ought to have been a purer form of Garifuna spirituality. The reason why I'm saying this is because of the very nature of religion and religious thought and religious practice and religious behavior, that religion tend to be syncretic in that it borrows from other religion or borrows from other religious belief systems. Now, I am not saying that Garifuna religious beliefs or spirituality was meant to be that way, but because of the influences that were inevitable from other cultures, such as that of European cultures, that of the cultures that felt they were that superior to the Garifuna people or the Garifuna culture, there is a very likelihood that what the people of Europe believe with respect to their religions and their spirituality would have been somewhat trickled over into the Garifuna spirituality. And that is why I feel that what they have today might not have been what they actually inherited from the Arawaks or from the Caribs when they first started out in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But the very good thing about the Garifuna people is that they've kept that central theme with respect to their culture, their language, and their dance. And always remember, religion is important to any culture, any people. And that is what is important for us to understand about the Garifuna people. That religion kept them together. That religion is very intertwined with their culture and their language. So language, culture, religion go hand in hand. Like most people, language, religion, and culture keep them during troubled times. Like most ethnic groups across the world, like most tribal groups across the world, like most communal groups across the world, their ethnicity, their tribes, their language, their culture, and their religion are the ties that bind them. Those are the things that identify them. In 2001, UNESCO, that is United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization, proclaimed the Garifuna language, music, and dance to be among the masterpieces of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. Today, the Garifuna are a vibrant and proud people who are determined to preserve their culture and language. So looking back at history, we all must remember where we got our religion from. And I think it is fair for us to ask a few basic questions. What our religion identify us with? And whose ancestors are within the pantheon of our religion? In other words, the question is, to those of you whom I know as Christians, who are your ancestors that you revere in your Christian faith? So, to look back at a little history, in 1685, King Louis XIV of France made a decree known as the Code Noir. That decree was to ensure for the improved condition of the slaves in all French colonies. Now, bear in mind that all French colonies, or a lot of the French slave colonies in the 1700s, many of them had slaves and African slaves. So King Louis' Code Noir decree was to ensure for little better conditions for the slaves. But that came with a price. That came with the price that the slaves were compelled to be converted to Catholicism. That's a branch of Christianity that is very, 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 very popular today. And so the ancestors of black slaves in French colonies did not choose Christianity. It was forced upon them. Just a thought. Therefore, it is fair to say that the newly converted slaves who were now Christians had lost their ancestral heritage. Their slave masters appointed them new ones.